All right, guys, how's everybody doing? I wanted to bring you this new kind of popped up video because of an interesting article that I wanted to really cover. It's from Tech That Died in 2020, kind of keep us up to date with what actually fell apart in 2020 along with everything else in the world. And you know, it's a nice article posted by Mr. Ian Paul over on PC World. I'll put the article in the description so I can give proper credits to him. But anyways, let's get right into it. Sorry for this ad. Farmville. This was honestly a pretty big game back when I was like in second or third grade. I know Facebook was like a really big thing back in the day, and definitely I was introduced to it by a friend who was actually in high school, and at the time they would always come over my house, not just to play that, but I also had another friend who lived nearby that would you know, they both went to the same school and everything, and they would show me Farmville. This was a humongous thing. It was it's very sad to see it go now since Flash is gone. Lots of things just died with it, but there's also some websites that apparently not everybody knows about have been encoded now into HTML, which means with Flash dying, some of those websites won't actually go away. But yeah, sad to see that go away. Google Play Music. This was honestly kind of a necessary thing for it to go, because since Google owns YouTube and they have YouTube Music, you have two competitors in the same thing under your umbrella, and it's like going head to head. It's like, why do you need one over the other? YouTube Music is far superior than Google Play Music ever was and ever will be, and since it's going away, that's a pretty good thing. It's another thing Google doesn't have to worry about, but it's also another thing that they're killing off, because they're very notorious for doing this. But honestly, YouTube Music is just a behemoth, much more worth it in the long run. Nintendo 3DS, this is going away as well. I didn't even know this was dropping complete manufacturing, I guess. So after 9.5 years, 76 million units, Nintendo finally said goodbye to the 3DS in 2020. First came out in 2011. 3D was nice. And when they reviewed it back then, they quoted it. No, this is their quote. They said it may be less a gaming handheld than a total multimedia center, only one of whose activities happens to be gaming. So the 3DS, I never actually had a 3DS or a Nintendo DS or anything of that. I honestly went with a PSP instead, and it was a lot more fun with that. Played God of War, Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus, Harry Potter Lego game. Those were kind of my games for a handheld device growing up. Wunderlist. Oh, don't want that. Wunderlist. The writing was on the wall June 2015. Once Microsoft acquired the company, the popular to-do list app has been up for deactivation since 2017. Wow. It's been on the hit list for a while now. AT&T DSL, America's largest internet ISP, is giving up telephone lines for broadband connections. Wow, that is a pretty big thing. Chrome apps. January, Google announced that it would be ending Chrome apps, not extensions, just the standalone web apps that operate in their own windows like a desktop app rather than a browser tab. This is the second time we've heard the death knell ringing for Chrome apps. Google announced way back in 2016 that it would give up Chrome apps by 2018. Looks like that did not come into fruition. So that's interesting. That never happened, but this time it appears to be the real deal. Google stopped accepting new public Chrome apps to the Chrome Web Store in March by 2021 in June. Chrome app support on Windows, Mac, and Linux will end. Chrome OS will keep running Chrome apps until June 2022. So you still have time. If you have any Chrome apps, I don't know who does, honestly, but you still have time left until next year, June. So you have a solid while. Facebook's Windows 10 app. Facebook had an app in the Windows Store. Apparently it did, and nobody knew. Or at least I didn't, at least. Some of you who are avid Facebook users probably knew that. And it's ending support, so whoever got used to that, I'm sorry, but it's gone. It's leaving. It's in the dust. And Mixer, oh, what a disappointment this was. This was Microsoft trying to compete against Twitch, or somehow getting in that live streaming space, and it didn't really come into fruition. It was a big whole thing when Ninja moved over from Twitch. Mixer definitely overpaid for Ninja and Shroud to be on the platform. They thought those two names were going to bring a new audience to it. They thought it was going to spark something and really set the platform for Mixer to then build off of the success of those two. But obviously that didn't turn out to what it was meant to be. And then it was given to Facebook, and then I guess Facebook doesn't want it either, because Facebook, I guess, was honoring their contracts. So yeah, that's the end of Mixer. VR Follies. What is this? Oculus Quest 2 that doesn't require tethering. Some VR platform and devices say goodbye in 2020, including the Oculus Go, the Rift S headsets. Google's Daydream VR platform for mobile phones no longer support Daydream VR software. The end of the XR platform came after Samsung's early decision to give up its Gear VR headsets. And then the big behemoth, Adobe Flash Player. In the 90s, Adobe Flash wasn't just a component you used on the web, it was pretty much the web. Flash was how we played web games. Every majority entertainment site flashed. Let's not forget about all those Flash-powered ads. A big one that I definitely spent way too much time on, Miniclip. For those of you who do not know what Miniclip is, it was probably the center hub for a majority of you guys growing up playing in the school library, or during recess, or when you had indoor recess. I don't know if that was a thing for you or not. You would go on the computer, load up Miniclip, and then that was the first thing everyone would wanted to do. It was amazing. I remember playing Commando 2, and the skateboarding game. Those were indeed the times, and it's kind of sad to see this go away. Very sad, but it was inevitable. There was a lot of talks of it officially ending for a while now, and I guess it's definitely official now. It's done for. But they did put out a statement saying that some things that still have Flash are completely done for January 15th. So you still have a little bit of time, but it's considered dead as of right now. Oh, there it is. The company will block content running in Flash January 12th. Okay, so I was 3 days off. My bad. Amazon Echo Look. So I never knew this existed. This apparently helped you look better using AI algorithms. It gave you some fashion advice. That's kind of weird, not gonna lie. Who needs that? Pretty sure everyone can dress themselves even if you look bad or not, as long as you feel good in it. So that's kind of a waste, so I guess that's a good thing that that's gone. And then Windows 7. Versions of the Windows operating systems are so widely used, they have several deaths to prepare users for the inevitable. These include the end of the retail sales and their feature support, security updates, and the final nail in the coffin. And Windows 7's end-of-life hit in January. 2020 PCs rocking Windows 7 can still operate, of course. And like Windows XP fans before them, Windows 7 users will likely keep logging into an old OS. Regardless of the lack of security updates, Windows 7 was a welcome follow-up to the Vista, in keeping with a Microsoftiation tradition of one bad OS release followed by a good one. Windows 7 built on some of Vista's strong foundations while removing its annoyances. Yeah, so basically I kind of grew up with the Windows Vista OS. That's what I started off. Actually, no, XP, because of school, that's why. So Windows XP, started off on that. Then by the time Vista hit, I got a laptop, so then I grew right into that atmosphere. Personally, I liked Vista because I was way too young to genuinely understand how bad it was, or why people hated it so much. So I kind of look at it fondly through the lenses of a very, very young kid. So that's just me. And then Windows 7 was pretty good. Windows 8 was horrible. I gotta say that was terrible. But it's sad to see Windows 7 go. Well, that's a lot of stuff that just died in 2020. These are all the things that are going to be left behind, along with a majority of letdowns in terms of actually restocking certain technology that's in there. PC World definitely did a nice overview of what was left behind. And now as we enter 2021, we're going to see a humongous flood of things coming in. Just to list a few, we have a bunch of movies that got delayed, a bunch of Marvel movies, a bunch of, we got a couple DC movies in the works, and a bunch of other blockbuster hit movies that were supposed to come out in 2020, completely delayed to 2021. I don't understand why the movie industry wanted to do that. Well, to a certain extent, I do kind of understand, because they wanted to capitalize on us going to the theaters and making a bunch more money. But the thing is, everything is so packed into this year. We have video game releases coming up one after the other. Christmas time, when it comes up to 2021, is definitely going to be jam-packed with a lot of stuff. I'm talking about Battlefield 6, Halo Infinite, and I'm honestly thinking Ragnarok's going to get delayed, but as of right now, those are some two of the heaviest hitting video game releases on the horizon. And it's just going to be jam-packed with a lot of stuff. Lots of tech coming out as well. Hopefully, we can actually see stock issues being resolved by March. I kind of want to say, I hope by March we can at least see PS5s, Xboxes, RTX cards fully in stock, to the point where you can go into a store and not have to fight it with somebody or fight a bot. If we can get to that point, then we would be in good shape, and it's definitely a lot better for everybody in the long run. Things really need to get fixed up in that space, because stock issues have just plagued consumers, especially for the people that are able to afford it during the pandemic. Nobody can get anything pretty much. As of this point right now, there's stock issues for everything. Consoles are kind of leveling out a little bit more. There's been a lot more drops, which is good. There's been a couple times where I have the PS5 notifications for in-stock situations come up on Twitter, and it's like, oh, PS5 is in stock, Xbox is in stock, go pick it up only at Target. And I've opened that up a couple of times, and I have gotten to the point where I add it to my cart and I can fully pay for it. I don't want to do that because I want other people to get the consoles, because I have both. And it's honestly, I got super lucky, but I'm seeing them pop up in stock a lot more frequently, which is a good thing and a good sign, hopefully. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it, knock on wood. But as of right now, that thing is still a little bit of an issue. And forget about graphics cards and processors, you're not going to see that for... I'm hoping that all those issues get ironed out by March. Hopefully we can see that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that short little video. Kind of wanted to do a nice coverage of it, because this article definitely piqued my interest, and I'm sure a bunch of you people probably would have not seen this or even known some of these things died in 2020. So hopefully this, shined a light upon you somehow, so you can look at the article now. Maybe PC World is something you're gonna go to now. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.